Hello everyone, this is Devendra, your science teacher. So today we are going to discuss about the some topics of the chapter 6, the conservation. So now we are going to discuss the conservation of wildlife. Why it is very necessary to conserve the wildlife. And you know very well the destruction of forest is now it's become the many wildlife species in they become a danger. Okay, so there is need to be know about, and this is our duty to conserve the wildlife. You know very well, due to the destruction of habitats. Habitat means the forest where the animals live. Wildlife has main threats on that time. Why? The construction of industries, houses, dams has left fewer areas where animals can breed. So nest and feeds. So preventing deforestation is an important method of habitat preservation. I have told you in our life classes. Okay, there is need to be plant more and more trees to protect the forest life, means wildlife. So by creating wildlife sanctuaries, we can protect natural habitat. Habitat can be preserved by preventing deforestation. You know very well, I and you and everybody know that deforestations ultimately preserve or conserve the wildlife. Why? Because planting trees to create new forest which provide shelter and food for wildlife, so they can also protect natural habitat of animal by creating wildlife sanctuaries, because there is very need. On the basis of this, the idea is that we have a number of animals that they become endangered, they become extinct, and some are near to become endangered, means it is a threatened species. So let's we will discuss some species that they becomes. So first of all, we will discuss the endemic species. What type of animals are there in endemic species? So first of all, there is need to be know about the endemic species. So the endemic species are species found in a particular area only. That is the most important things. The species that are found in particular area only. They are naturally not found anywhere else. Like, for example, the lemur of Madagascar. So that lemur is only found in Madagascar. And like the Asiatic lion in Gir forest, because Gir forest is also famous for the Asiatic lion. They are not found anywhere else. So that type of species are said to be a endemic species. Now endangered species. Endangered means these include the species which are diminishing to the level of danger or extinction, means the species whose number have reduced drastically, and if not conserved, it will become extinct. Means it will finished, okay, or we have lost that type of disease, species. So we have a number of examples. You know very well the Asian lion, Asian elephant, rhinoceros, blue whale. Rhinoceros means the have you seen and have you know about the one horned rhinoceros? Is found in the mainly of the northeast. It's become now endangered species. And if we talk about the extinct species, so the species of plants and animals which have already been lost are called extinct species. Like dodo, it is a type of bird. So dodo is extinct animal. Okay. And we have a last species. It is said to be a threatened species. Now I forget to mention here, but the fourth number is threatened species. Which species is this? Threatened. Threatened species. Which type of species is? Species belonging to endangered and rare species are classified as threatened species. Means that type of species word now we are using to the animals. We are using for the animals. Species word we are using for the animals. Okay, so that type of species, when they in their in near future it become endangered within all or much of its range, it is said to be a threatened disease. Means on nowadays, if we talk about our present, so they are found in their range, and when their near future they become endangered. When they become endangered within all or much of its range, they said to be a threatened species. Means they belongs to endangered and rare species. Okay, clear that? Now if we talk about the national parks, so what is the need to the governments to create a national park or whatever, like biosphere reserve and wildlife sanctuaries? So national park are protected areas set aside by governments for the preservation of wildlife. In which purpose? For the preservation of wildlife. And now you know very well that currently India has 98 national park and 515 sanctuaries. But here the park, the visitors are allowed to travel only within a limited area of the parks. So by this they can see conservation to be affected. And have you listened and have you know about the all of you know about the our tiger reserve too near the Chhatarpur district? It is a Panna National Park. It is also a type of park. where the tiger has been reserved here. Okay, so that are the national parks. So what we can say that they are the protected areas set by the government for the preservation of wildlife that are said to be a national park. So there are many government and non-government organization. The non-government organization said to be a NGO working to protect, preserve and conserve the environment. We have some international NGOs with branches in India are a number of foundation. They are working towards that field for protect, preservation and conservation the environment and life also, means wildlife also. So the worldwide fund of for nature, it's said to be in abbreviation form WWF, and the International Union for the Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources, means IUCN, now called the World Conservation Union, means WCU. They are working for wildlife conservation because the IUCN has published the Red Data Book with a list of threatened species of birds. The threatened species, I have told you, the threatened species means they near to become endangered in near future. So this is done to notify that those species which are threatened with extinct. So what the aim is that? The aim to promoting their conservation, the IUCN maintain the red list, which is a compilation of endangered wildlife species and a red data book. So the red data book species are classified into critical, endangered and vulnerable. A red data book is revised periodically. A green book gives a list of endangered plants growing in protected areas, and these areas is restricted for the humans, because we have done anything, and human also responsible for this condition that we have faced on that days. The centuries means there is need to be create a national park, national sanctuaries and that type of NGOs. Why we are responsible? If we are start the planting trees, so that situation ultimately is solved, but nobody wants to do this. Okay, so one suggestion for you, now read that chapter till it, and our next classes we will discuss the some national park and life sanctuaries in our country. Okay, thank you so much.